Shalom, everyone, and welcome back. A good Shabbos, everyone, and a good Erev Shavuos, which is coming up next Thursday night. The Torah was given in a desert. In fact, the name of this week's Torah portion, Bamidbar, means the desert. And the question is, why was the Torah given in a desert? Why wasn't it given in the land of Israel, or in Brooklyn, New York, or a place where Jews live? A place that is a vibrant, holy place already. Why was it given in a midbar, a desert, which is a God-forsaken wilderness, a no man's land, if you will? And the rabbis asked the question. It's an obvious question. In fact, the Jewish people, after they received the Torah in the desert, they spent the next 40 years being just there, studying the Torah, observing the Torah. But why a desert? Why do we need to go through such an experience, a desert, a place of spiders and scorpions and harsh weather and things like that? Well, actually, the commentaries tell us that during the time that the Jewish people in the desert, they enjoyed a freedom from work and from mundane activities. All their clothes were laundered while they wore them. They had no illnesses. They had perfect vision, and they had a wonderful life. The weather was actually quite pleasant. But why was the Torah given in a desert? Why was this necessary? So they asked the question, and one of the answers is that to tell us that the Torah is not limited to any particular place, even a no man's land, even a place where people do not live. The Torah is still observed in that place. A person might ask a question. Well, if I go to Israel, I'll observe the Torah there, because that's a holy place. Or if I go to the synagogue, I'll observe the Torah there. Or if I'm in a Jewish community. But if I'm living out in San Diego, California, or if I'm living out in some other place, in Omaha, Nebraska, there it's not really conducive to a Torah observance, to Orthodox Jewish observance in places like that. I have to keep my Jewishness quiet, take my yarmulke off, not tell people that I'm keeping Shabbos or observing. Better, I'll do it when I go to Israel. In fact, the Torah tells us no, even in a desert, even in a place that seems to be a no man's land, a place where there are harsh circumstances, even there the Torah should be observed, even in a desert climate. And in fact, that's the idea, that Torah should be observed everywhere, wherever a Jew goes. If you're on vacation, where everyone is starting to going and making their plans for vacationing, or they're going on cruises, or all kinds of things, there also the Torah should be observed. Shabbos should be observed. Prayer should be done in places like that. We should not be ashamed to display our Jewishness even in desert types of circumstances. Everywhere Torah is to be observed, and in fact, that is the lesson, I think, of the parsha and of the whole desert experience. And in fact, we are told that a desert is a place of purification. One of the ways to purify a vessel is by immersing it in the ground, because the earth can be a purifying experience. By doing mitzvahs in a place like that, it can be a purifying experience. Many people have told me that, when they were living back in Brooklyn, New York, growing up in Brooklyn, they weren't observant, but when they came to San Diego, they all of a sudden felt a need to observe Judaism. So that should be a lesson for us as well. The holiday of Shavuos, as I mentioned, is coming up this Thursday night. We're going to be celebrating it all over the world, but especially in University City, with a beautiful dairy dinner. Thursday night, May the 25th, starting at 8:30 p.m. Services are at 7:30, and dinner will be at 8:30. We'll have a lovely dairy dinner, as is the custom, followed by an evening of Torah study, featuring some of our members, our rabbis, and that should be a lovely experience. Stay as long as you can. And then on Friday, we're going to be reading the Ten Commandments in the synagogue, followed by our annual ice cream kiddush. So we're looking forward to that as well. I want to wish you all a good Shabbos and a good Yontif. And may we all have, as the Rabbi used to say, a Kabbalah Torah b'pnimius, that the receiving of the Torah should be in an inward fashion for all of us. Candle lighting tonight in San Diego is at 7:26. Shabbat Shalom.